Hello guys, this is your friend Naruto Fanfics 2.0 and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto was like Minato and mastered his secret jutsu part -2. And if you enjoyed this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. Him directly in the sternum, most likely a staggering blow, Sasuke's blow only clipped Naruto's side. It stung but Naruto just shrugged the pain aside. Naruto stepped inside Sasuke's outstretched guard and landed several quick blows. None looked very strong but Sasuke leapt backward clutching his left arm and side, a frown marring his normally stoic face. "How are you doing this?" Sasuke demanded. "I don't know," Naruto said. "I'm just doing what comes naturally." "What's going on here?" a stern, yet somewhat amused voice asked from the edge of the sparring circle. "So you decided to show up, Kakashi-sensei," Naruto quipped. "And just when it was getting good." "Kakashi-sensei, you're late," Sakura screamed, pointing a finger at the silver-haired man, who scratched the back of his head in an embarrassed fashion. "Sorry, I had to stop and help an old lady take her groceries home and then a black cat crossed my path so I had to run twice around the village. You know, bad luck and all that," Kakashi said. Sasuke and Sakura groaned at the terrible excuse from Kakashi while Naruto chuckled warmly. Kakashi with Obito's personality, that's going to take some getting used to, Naruto thought. He shook his head, tossing aside his thoughts that were melding with his father's. To-san said that he would put some of his and Ka-san's chakra in the seal for some reason. I wonder if when I used Kyuubi's chakra in Nami, the seal activated and something happened caused the seal to absorb their chakra into me. It would sort of explain why I was dreaming about my parents from their points of view. And how I have any idea what I'm talking about, Naruto thought. "So Kakashi-sensei, what are we going to do today?" Sakura asked. "Not more D-rank missions I hope." "No," Kakashi said. "Hokage-sama has decided to give our team a week off from missions since our last one was upgraded from AC rank to an A rank. So today we will be expanding on what you were taught in Nami." "Tree climbing?" Naruto asked. "Correct. But we already know how to climb trees with our chakra," Sakura whined. "That might be true but you haven't mastered it," Kakashi said. "You have only mastered this exercise when you can stay attached to a vertical surface for 3 hours straight or are able to fight on a vertical surface without having to think about channeling chakra. So you three know the drill, get to it." Sakura and Naruto groaned while Sasuke sneered but the trio of genin made their way over to the group of trees that lined the sparring circle. Slowly, Naruto made his way up his tree focusing on completing the exercise correctly rather than getting it done. First, he knew that his amount of chakra dwarfed Sasuke's. Even Kakashi's chakra level was barely a third of Naruto's chakra level. Naruto was confident that he would outlast the other members of his team, so he solely focused on sticking to the tree upside down for as long as possible as well as walking on a high branch. He figured that having the blood rush to your head was a good deterrent to concentrating, and made the exercise harder. Kakashi watched from his perch in a nearby tree. His cute little genin might think that he wasn't paying attention to them and only reading his Icha. But Kakashi was actually watching the team. When he arrived, only 20 minutes late, a new record, Kakashi was stunned to see that Naruto and Sasuke sparring. Well, maybe not that surprise at the fact that they were fighting, but that Naruto was winning was the surprise. As well as taijutsu stance that the blonde had been using, it looked like a cross between Minato-sensei's style and Kushina-sensei's style. But that was impossible. Naruto had only known about his parents for one night, hadn't he? "Kakashi-sensei, I can't go on," Sakura whined as she leapt down from her tree. "All right, Sakura. Take a 10-minute break but then you are going to do it again," Kakashi ordered, much to the horror of the pink-haired Kunoichi. But. "No but Sakura," Kakashi said sharply. "You have the smallest chakra reserves of any of the recent graduates, and the only way to increase those reserves is to exhaust them each day and push past your limits. The main reason you have such perfect chakra control is because you have so little chakra." Sakura began tearing up. Even her sensei thought she was weak. "You're not weak, Sakura," Kakashi interrupted her thought process. "You just don't have the shinobi lineage that Naruto and Sasuke does. So you will have to work harder than them to gain more chakra. Having such exceptional chakra control is a boon for such a young shinobi." I think you'll be quite suited to genjutsu or medical ninjutsu, both of which require excellent chakra control. Who knows, perhaps you could become the next Tsunade of the Sannin. You really think so, sensei? Sakura gasped. She had read all about the legendary Senju Tsunade of the Sannin, granddaughter of the Shodaime Hokage, grandniece of the Nidaime Hokage, during the academy. But you are going to have to work extremely hard, Sakura, Kakashi said. Hey Kakashi-sensei, is there something else I can do? Naruto asked. Kakashi looked up and nearly fell out of his tree. Naruto was alternating from walking upside down on a high branch and hanging by his hands from that same branch. Naruto, how the hell are you doing that? Sakura cried. Well, I know that I've got a whole bunch of chakra, Naruto explained. And I knew that I would get too bored just hanging around, get it? The others groaned at the crappy pun. Everyone's a critic, but I was trying to come up with ways to make this exercise harder. And then I figured if I had to keep changing where I was channeling my chakra, it would force me to focus on controlling it and do it quickly. Kakashi looked at his blonde student. That's pretty clever, the silver-haired Jonin thought. By switching back and forth from channeling chakra to the soles of his feet and hands, he is splitting his concentration between two opposite places, which increases the difficulties of this exercise by quite a bit. Bravo, Naruto. Well then, Naruto, why don't follow me? Kakashi said. I think I have something that will keep you interested. Naruto released his hold on the branch and quickly fell to the ground, falling into a crouch as he landed to absorb the impact. Naruto jogged over to follow Kakashi, leaving Sakura looking confused and Sasuke fuming. So what now, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked. Are you going to teach me a badass jutsu or something? Not quite, Kakashi chuckled. Despite the newfound maturity that Naruto seemed to possess, he was still Naruto. This next exercise is still a chakra-controlling one. It is the next step after tree walking. Water walking, right? Naruto asked. Kakashi looked at his student. How did you know that? He asked. I'm not sure, Naruto said with a faraway look. Inwardly, Naruto was cursing himself out. He didn't want anyone to know how he knew things that he had no business knowing. Naruto wanted an edge over his enemies. I think I saw some Jonin teaching his team a couple years ago, and I remembered you were walking on water during your fight against Zabuza. Kakashi nodded, his curiosity sated but not satisfied. Naruto was displaying a maturity and perceptiveness that he hadn't shown in the academy nor in the last few months as a member of Team 7. Yes, my cute genin, Kakashi chuckled. Water walking is much harder than tree walking, though the principles are pretty much the same. Water walking forces you to channel a constant amount of chakra to force a hardening of the water under your feet in order to stand on it, instead of channeling a fixed amount of chakra to stick to the tree. Think you are up to it? Of course, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto cried. Believe it, I'll have this mastered in no time. Quote, well then, I'll leave you to it, Kakashi grinned. Yosh, Naruto saluted. Kakashi vanished in a puff of smoke as Naruto turned to face his new enemy, the lake that bordered Training Ground 7. Kakashi-sensei, where's Naruto? Sakura asked when Kakashi returned to the clearing. He's over at the lake working on the next exercise, Kakashi said. Once you two have mastered this one, you'll join him. Quote, how did Naruto manage to master this? Sasuke growled. He didn't like the fact that the dog was catching up to him. He was the rookie of the year, the strongest of their class, and yet Naruto was working on an exercise that he wasn't. Gritting his teeth, Sasuke glared up at the tree and returned to the exercise. The week after Team 7's return from the wave, the three genin of Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke saw a marked change in their sensei. Kakashi was actually training them, and quite successfully. Sakura and Sasuke had mastered the tree walking exercise and had moved on to the water walking exercise. Both Sasuke and Sakura were glad to be catching up with Naruto, even though they were both stunned and a bit angry that the class dope was now in front of them. Meanwhile, Naruto was learning at a far faster rate than the other two. He had progressed enough in water walking to be able to stand on top of the lake and was working on running across the lake's surface while some of his clones caused waves to ripple across the lake. Kakashi was greatly impressed at the progress that his students were making. It seemed that Sakura and Naruto were starting to take being a ninja seriously. Kakashi knew that Sasuke had lost much of his innocence during that fateful night 6 years ago, and Naruto had very truly had a childhood with the way he had been treated and had to grow up much quicker than anyone aside from Sasuke, even if he didn't act like it. When not training with his teammates, Naruto was training himself. One memory from his parents had stood out from many of the others. He had discovered the secret behind the Kage Bunshin. When a clone was dispelled, its memories were transferred back to the creator. He had seen Minato and Kushina both using the technique to train. Kushina was able to abuse the idea much more frequently because of her being the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Naruto used the Kage Bunshin training method to quickly learn the basics of elemental manipulation for all three of his elements. Cutting a leaf with his chakra came the quickest to Naruto. Withdrawing the water from a wet towel coming second, and then creating a spark with his chakra was the most difficult exercise. Alright, you three, that's enough for today, Kakashi called out as the genin of Team 7 kept practicing the water walking exercise, though now all three had progressed far enough to be walking on a moving stream. I have to go to a meeting with the Hokage, so we're done for the day. Today was our last day of leave, so tomorrow we will begin missions again. Later, the silver-haired Jonin vanished in a puff of smoke, leaving the three panting genin staring at the spot. Why would the Hokage need to meet with Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked. He's probably still on the old man's bad side from letting us continue on the wave mission, Naruto said. In hindsight, we all got really lucky that none of us were truly seriously injured. Quote, how can you say that, Naruto? Sakura cried. Sasuke-kun was nearly killed by that Haku boy, and Kakashi-sensei got really hurt fighting Zabuza. Yes, but if Kakashi-sensei had just turned down Tazuna's plea, neither of them would have gotten hurt, Naruto pointed out. I wanted to help out Tazuna as much as anyone, but we weren't ready for that type of a mission and got really lucky. Sakura and Sasuke both didn't want to admit, but they knew that Naruto was right. They had gotten exceedingly lucky that they had survived the mission to the wave. Equals 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 scene break equals 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 equals. So good of you to join us, Kakashi, Hiruzen said as the silver-haired Jonin arrived at the meeting. Of course, sir, Kakashi said, falling into line with his fellow Jonin. As you all probably already know, but the time is quickly approaching, Hiruzen said. The Chunin selection exams are now upon us, and I will open the floor to any sensei whose team that has completed at least 10 missions to compete for their nominations. The Jonin who had been senseis for years stepped forward and nominated their teams. Then it came time for the newer Jonin senseis. I, Matogai, nominate my team of Rock Lee, Neji Hyuga and Tenten, under my name for the Chunin selection exams, Guy announced. His face set in stone. I, Asuma Sarutobi, nominate my genin team of Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi and Ino Yamanaka, under my name for the Chunin selection exams, Asuma said, his mouth conspicuously free of cigarettes. I, Kurenai Yuhi, nominate my genin team of Hanata Hyuga, Shino Aburam and Kiba Inazaka, under my name for the Chunin selection exams, Kurenai said, her face set. I, Kakashi Hatake, nominate my genin team of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Naruto Uzumaki, under my name for the Chunin Selectio N exams, Kakashi said, his book nowhere in sight. All three of them, a voice whispered from the back of the room. Now hold on, Iruka said from the side of the room. Lord Hokage, all 9 of the rookie genin were my students at the academy. And while they are all very talented, none of them are ready for these exams. Please, you must stop, Iruka, Kakashi's voice snapped out, causing the academy instructor to stiffen. That wasn't the voice of the normal laid-back Kakashi, it was the former ANBU captain Kakashi who spoke. These genin are no longer your students, they are our soldiers and we believe that they are ready for these exams. Perhaps you don't have faith in their abilities but we do or we would not have nominated them. Quote, Iruka flinched at Kakashi's rebuke. He opened his mouth to retort but a raised hand from the Hokage stalled his continued protest. That is enough, Hiruzen said coolly. If Kakashi, Kurenai and Asuma believe that their students are ready for the exams, I will not stop them from nominating Th.M. The exams will begin in 1 week's time. I trust you all will inform your students in enough time for them to make their own decisions. Kakashi, Kurenai and Asuma nodded. Good, you are all dismissed. Though Kakashi, would you mind staying for a brief moment? As the Jonin filed out of the conference room, Kakashi kept his eyes fixed on his commander as his comrades walked past him. Once the final Jonin had left, being Iruka, and closed the door. What can I do for you, Lord Hokage? Kakashi asked, bowing before the aged man. I see you have taken my advice to heart, Kakashi-kun, Hiruzen chuckled. The reports of your team's training have borne quite a bit of fruit. Quote, Kakashi rubbed the back of his head in an embarrassed fashion. I apologize, sir, for not putting my full effort into training my team. I know that Minato-sensei would have been ashamed of my attitude toward my students. I can only surmise that because I was so advanced by the time I graduated, I didn't pay attention to what Minato-sensei taught Obito and Rin. Hiruzen nodded at Kakashi's reason. Kakashi had graduated from the academy when he was 5, and had become a Jonin at 13 while under the command of Minato. Oh, it wasn't until the tragedy of Kanabi Bridge that Kakashi had broken out of his cold, nearly Danzo-like ninja mentality. Hiruzen only wished that it hadn't cost Obito Uchiha his life for Kakashi to begin to open up his heart that had been locked up since his father had taken his own life. And now, I think I truly understand why Minato-sensei always felt that teaching young ninja was the greatest gift a shinobi could do, Kakashi said. Seeing those 3 learning so quickly and getting stronger, it really is, Hiruzen nodded, seeing the proud expression on the masked ninja's face. I do, Kakashi-kun, I truly do, the Hokage said with a smile as he thought back to his own students. By your leave, sir, I believe I have a training regime to come up with to make sure that my brats are up to scratch, Kakashi said. The Hokage nodded and watched the silver-haired man leave his office in a puff of smoke. Equals 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 scene break equals 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 equals. It had been a week since Kakashi had given Team 7 the news that he had entered them in the Chunin exams. He had given them the last 2 days before the exams off in order to prepare. Naruto had spent the time reviewing his parents' memories of the exams. He was comforted by the fact that both Minato and Kushina hadn't passed their first Chunin exam. Actually, for Kushina it took 3 tries, Minato passed on his second attempt. But they always reached the 3rd stage. So Naruto promised himself that he would give him the chance to be promoted by making it to the 3rd exam no matter what. Naruto rolled out of bed the morning of the first exam, feeling nervous yet excited. He knew what was coming. In all of his parents' memories, the first exam had always featured some sort of intelligence gathering test. Usually Konoha did this by forcing the genin to take a written test that had answers that no normal genin could answer, followed by a do-or-die question that was the true meaning behind the test. Opening his closet, Naruto sighed as he took his unusual outfit of the bright orange jumpsuit. Everyone belittled him for wearing such a non-ninja outfit, but they didn't think about why he wore it. The outfit was the only thing that he had, the only thing that the shopkeepers of Konoha allowed him to buy. A wave of anger flowed over Naruto at the thought of his tormentors. Hypocrites, he thought savagely. Toussaint wanted me to be known as a hero. And yet these people spit on his final wishes even though they praise him for being one of the most powerful shinobi of all time alongside the Shodaime. Pushing aside his thoughts of revenge, that would only prove to them that I am what they fear, Naruto muttered to himself. In the back of Naruto's closet was his new outfit. He had taken inspiration from his father's childhood outfit. Over the previous week, Naruto, under a disguise, had gone into several different stores to purchase his new clothes. His advanced hench had fooled the civilian shopkeepers easily and Naruto was able to purchase his supplies without incident and without the inflated prices that the shopkeepers liked to push onto him. The only store that Naruto never used a hench to shop at was the shinobi supply store that was run by a retired shinobi. The owner of the store never overpriced Naruto, never chased him out of the store and always answered any of Naruto's questions. "There you Naruto Baka," Sakura shouted as Naruto leapt down from a tree overhanging the path leading to the academy. "You were supposed to be here 20 minutes ago." Sakura blinked for a moment as she took in Naruto's new outfit. Gone was the bright orange jumpsuit. In its place was a much more subdued, ninja-like outfit. A forest green sleeveless hoodie covered a dark orange long-sleeved shirt with black ANBU-style pants and sandals. Even Naruto's hair was different. It was longer and shaggier, with two bangs hanging down even with his eyes. "What?" Naruto asked sharply. "What are you wearing?" Sakura asked. "I thought it was time for a change," Naruto shrugged. "Our mission to Nami opened my eyes to the realities of this world. I need to start taking this seriously or I'll be killed easily." Quote. Sasuke and Sakura blinked at Naruto's answer. Where is the blonde backer that would always shout out that he was going to become Hokage? He actually seems cool, Sakura thought. He has to be trying to copy Sasuke-kun. Cha! A voice shouted in Sakura's head. Looks like the dope is getting his act together, Sasuke thought as he nodded to his blonde teammate. "Backer, stop trying to act like Sasuke-kun," Sakura shouted. "You'll never do as cool as Sasuke-kun." "Did I say anything at all about trying to be like Sasuke?" Naruto asked quietly as he looked at Sakura with a hard look. "Everyone kept making fun of me because of what I was wearing, saying it wasn't shinobi-like, and now when I start taking this serious, why, you are yelling at me. Perhaps you should take a look in the mirror. A red dress and pink hair aren't the most conspicuous outfit for being a ninja." Sakura looked like Naruto had just slapped her while Sasuke was grinning slightly. Who knew the dope could stand up for himself? The Banshee needed that wake-up call, the Uchiha heir thought. "Come on you two," Sasuke barked as Sakura's eyes began to tear up. "We don't want to be late." Quote. Naruto nodded. He and Sakura turned to follow Sasuke into the academy. Naruto chanced a look back at his female teammate and saw her trying to hold back tears. Naruto felt his chest tighten and sighed. "Look Sakura, I'm sorry about snapping at you, but you know that I'm right," Naruto said. "You always told me that I needed to start taking being a ninja seriously and that wearing orange is a terrible color for being a shinobi. And then when I do change my clothes, you start yelling at me again. Look at your own clothes, bright red is almost as bad as orange. You can't be blind to your own faults, Sakura. Mine was my hyperactiveness and my attitude toward being a shinobi. I've tried to counter that, but it's a work in progress. Kakashi-sensei said that you had the smallest chakra reserves on the team, and for the last 2 weeks you've been working on growing them and it shows. I know that you come from a civilian family, and you want to wear your clan's symbol, and that's fine. But if you are going to berate me for my clothes, take a look at your own." Sakura looked down at the ground. "Naruto's lecturing me. Who does he think he is?" she thought angrily. "But is he wrong?" Inner Sakura commented. "During the academy we would also yell at Naruto for wearing that hideous orange jumpsuit, and now when he changes, we yell at him again even when he did what we said to do." Sakura blinked. "I never thought that you would be the voice of reason," she thought. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Sakura's face change from one of anger to confusion to acceptance. "Come on Sakura," he said. "We better get moving before Sasuke decides to pull that massive stick out of his and beats us over the head with it." Sakura giggled and nodded. The pair raced down the path to catch up with their other teammate who was waiting for them at the entrance to the academy. Team 7 made their way inside the academy and turned toward the staircase to take them to the 3rd floor. Naruto narrowed his eyes as they came upon a group of ninja from all who were trying to get inside the classroom but were being blocked by two older-looking genin. Something is going on, Naruto thought. There's no way that we are on the third floor. We only went up one set of stairs, Genjutsu. They must be trying to weed out some of the competition by having a pre-test of sorts. This must be new since neither Ka-san or Tu-san's memories have anything like this. Release this pathetic genjutsu and let us pass, Sasuke barked, causing Naruto to slap his hand to his forehead. Oh, so you noticed the genjutsu, one of the older genin smirked. In a puff of smoke, the pair changed their appearance to reveal Kamizuki Izumo and Hagane Kotetsu, the Chunin duo that were always doing gate duty. Looks like we've got some exceptional candidates, Izumo said, causing several of the genin to grin. But if you think just because you were able to see such a weak genjutsu, you'll be able to become Chunin, then you are going to get eaten alive during these exams. They are no joke. Chunin are team leaders, and they are expected to lead genin teams on dangerous missions that could cost people their lives. If you think that you'll just breeze through these exams, you've got another thing coming. People die in these exams. Have fun, Kotetsu grinned before the pair vanished in a puff of smoke. Come on, Sasuke ordered. Naruto and Sakura jogged after Sasuke. You shouldn't have said anything, Sasuke, Naruto whispered. You saw how many people didn't even realize the genjutsu. The competition would have been so much less. Coward, Sasuke grunted. And here I thought that you were getting stronger. Don't you want to fight? Quote, not if I can help it, Naruto said, ignoring Sasuke's coward comment. And if those teams couldn't see the genjutsu, then they wouldn't have been any real threat. The teams that easily made it past the genjutsu are the ones that we need to keep an eye on. Quote, HN, Sasuke snorted. Uchiha Sasuke. A loud voice interrupted Team 7's musing. They turned to see a fellow Konoha genin who was wearing the most outlandish outfit they had ever seen, and that was saying something coming from the team that had a boy who would only wear bright orange jumps. White and a girl with pink hair and a red battle dress. A green spandex jumpsuit covered the boy head to toe with dimmer orange leg warmers, bandages wrapped around his wrists and forearms along with his Konoha forehead protector around his waist as a belt. I wish to challenge you. I want to see the so-called Rookie of the Year, the Uchiha Genius. Sasuke snorted. Please, he grunted. You wouldn't even be a challenge for someone like me. I am the strongest genin in Konoha, the boy said. Let's see how you measure up, Uchiha Genius. You know my name, what's yours? Sasuke asked. I am Rock Lee, Lee said with a thumbs up. Lee's large eyes cut to Sakura. You must be Haruno Sakura. I promise to protect you with my life. Will you go out with me? Hell no, Sakura cried, causing Lee's head to drop. Don't mind her, Lee, Naruto said. Sakura is the type of girl who goes for the cool-looking guy with the large stick up his and treats her like trash. Women are very interesting creatures. Men can spend all their lives trying to understand them but will never gain more than a passing gleam. Sakura and Sasuke blinked at Naruto's put down of both of them. I see. No matter, Lee said. I still wish to test myself against the Rookie of the Year, the Uchiha Genius Uchiha Sasuke. So then, Sasuke, will you accept my challenge? Sasuke, don't do it, Naruto warned. We're going to be late if we don't go now. I'm sure you'll get your chance to fight him during the exams. Don't let your pride get you into a situation that you can't cash. Sasuke's head whirled around to glare at Naruto, his Sharingan spinning rapidly. Sasuke-kun, Naruto is right, Sakura said softly. We need to keep going. TCH, fine, Sasuke grunted. He turned back to Lee. You got lucky this time, next time you won't be so. Lee grinned. We shall see, Uchiha Sasuke. Until next time then, he said before vanishing in a blur. Naruto blinked as he didn't see any smoke or leaves that usually marked the use of a Shunshin. If Lee hadn't used any materials to mask his jutsu, that meant one of two things, that Lee was advanced enough in the jutsu to not need it, that wasn't a Shunshin. The second option was much more worrisome for Naruto. Sasuke-kun, a grating female voice cried out as Team 7 made their way into room 301. There you are. Back off, Inopig, Sakura growled as a long blonde-haired girl glopped onto Sasuke's back. Naruto had to stifle a snigger at the constipated look on Sasuke's face, Come to think of it, that expression was always on Sasuke's face. So the whole gang is here, Naruto heard Kiba's voice bark out. Naruto turned to see the rest of his graduating class slip out of the crowd and walk over. Hey forehead, where's that backer of a teammate of yours, Naruto? Ino asked once Sasuke had thrown her off his back. Hey there cutie, I'm Yamanaka Ino, what's your name? She asked. Sakura and Sasuke looked at one another, then to Naruto, before bursting out laughing. What are you laughing at forehead? Ino frowned. The rest of the rookies were stunned to see that Sasuke was laughing, let alone smiling. Ino, that's Naruto, Sakura gasped, clutching her stomach. What? The rookies cried as Naruto lowered his hood to reveal his blonde hair and whiskered face. Naruto, Ino cried as her face bloomed spectacularly. What are you wearing? My clothes, Naruto said with a blank face. You know, if I had known that all I had to do to get your attention was change my clothes, I would have done it years ago. Hey Sasuke, maybe if you want to get rid of your fangirls, you should wear my old jumpsuit. That thing was like a fangirl defense. I couldn't even get a girl to talk to me when I was wearing it. Sasuke's eyes gleamed for a moment. You know you should keep it down, a smooth voice said from behind the rookies. Naruto turned around to see a tall youth with grey hair and large circular glasses. Who are you? Kiba snapped. Kabuto Yakushi, the boy answered. And you are all just rookie genin, you might want to keep a lower profile. Most of these genin have been in the Chunin exams before, so they won't appreciate rookies making them look bad. And yet you are now announcing our statuses to the entire room, Naruto said. Something about this boy was raising his hackles. Only members of Konoha would know that we are rookies, if you hadn't said anything. Ma, Kabuto said, waving off Naruto's accusation. So how many times have you taken the exams? Ino asked. This will be the 7th time, Kabuto said with an embarrassed grin. Wow, you must suck, Kiba laughed. Or the exams are much more difficult than you think, Shino said. So then Kabuto, if you've taken the exams so many times, you must know some tricks or shortcuts that we could use, Naruto asked. I mean, we're all Konoha shinobi, and Konoha shinobi help each other out. Well, there aren't any shortcuts or things like that I can give you. The exams change every year and each village has their own way of doing the exams, Kabuto said. But I do have my Anyong info cards. Anyong info cards? Sasuke asked. He too was getting an uneasy feeling coming from the grey-haired youth. Kabuto grinned at the Uchiha heir before pulling out a deck of what looked like playing cards. He pulled one out of the deck and channeled some chakra into it. They're blank unless I channel some of my chakra into them, Kabuto said. Uchiha Sasuke, genin, graduated top of his class. A member of Team 7 with Naruto Uzumaki, the dope, and Sakura Haruno, the top kunoichi, under the tutelage of Kakashi Hatake. Mission stats: 15D rank, 0C rank, 0B rank and 1A rank mission in which he and Team 7 fought and defeated the Demon Brothers as well as Momochi Zabuza, the Kirigakure no Kijin. Known to have exceptional taijutsu and ninjutsu abilities, including several Katen jutsus that his CL. And was well known for above-average genjutsu, also activated his Uchiha bloodline, the Sharingan, during his mission to Nami no Kuni. Your team went on an A-rank mission. Ino cried. What the hell forehead? Quote. Naruto and Sasuke narrowed their eyes at Kabuto. There should be no way that Kabuto could know all of that just from their ninja profiles. The Hokage had decreed that Team 7's mission to name an A-rank mission but had classified their reports. What about Naruto? Let's hear all about the dope, Kiba laughed. Kabuto grinned as he pulled out another card. Naruto Uzumaki, genin, failed the graduation exam 3 times before passing the special secondary exam. A member of Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno under Kakashi Hatake. Mission stats: 15D ranks, 0C ranks, 1B rank and 1A rank. Known to have below average taijutsu, non-existent genjutsu and average ninjutsu. There is a special note though, apparently Naruto knows the B rank Kinjutsu Kage-Bunshin no Jutsu and its A rank counterpart, the Taju Kage-Bunshin. Naruto also has an immense amount of chakra, comparable to high Jonin levels. Quote. What? The rookies cried, spinning their heads toward Naruto, who was glaring at Kabuto. There was no way that anyone could have known about Naruto's B rank, which Hiruzen awarded him after helping stop Mizuki the night of the graduation exam. Hiruzen had classified that report as well. In fact, it wasn't even listed on his shinobi registration. Well then, Kabuto, since you were kind enough to tell everyone mine and Sasuke's stats, why don't you tell us yours? I mean, it's only fair, Naruto said sharply, his voice dropping several degrees. Kabuto arched an eyebrow but shrugged. Kabuto Yakushi, Genin, graduated 5 years ago in the middle of my class. I am teammates with Yoroi Akado and Misumi Tsurugi. Mission stats, 145 D ranks, 12 C ranks, 1 B ranks and 0 A ranks. My taijutsu is average, ninjutsu above average and genjutsu below average. Well, there you have it, Kabuto said. Naruto grinned and nodded in thanks. He's lying through his teeth, Naruto thought. He just gave the bare minimum to his stats while gave out Sasuke's full stats and mine as well. Going to have to keep an eye on him. And looks like Sasuke has the same idea. Single quote. Do you have any idea how we should look out for? Like non-Konoha teams? Sasuke asked. Kabuto smiled down at the Uchiha heir. It seems that most of the villagers sent their best, Kabuto said. I would definitely keep an eye on the Suna team of Gaara, Temari and Kankuro, they are the Kazika. Just children, so you know that they are skilled. Also, the new village of Otogakure no Seto is participating in their first Chunin exams, so their team should be interesting to pay attention to, though it is a brand new village, so more likely they are weak. Quote. Out of the corner of his eye, Naruto spotted 3 Genin stiffen at Kabuto's words. The 3 Genin all had a musical note etched on their hitaiatis and were wearing similar uniforms with black and grey camouflage pants and dark flak jackets. Oh, so we're weak, are we? The bandaged Genin said, turning to his teammates. Why don't we show these tree huggers the strength of Otto? The other 2 Genin grinned wickedly before vanishing in a burst of speed. Naruto noticed the disappearance of the Otto Genin and palmed a kunai. Shoving Kabuto to the floor, Naruto brought his kunai up to block the punch from the bandaged Otto Genin. The blonde saw the bandages around the boy's mouth twist in what was most likely a smile, and suddenly Naruto felt a massive pain strike his head, causing him to drop his kunai and clutch the side of his head. You shouldn't underestimate the Genin of the sound. We'll be the ones becoming Chunin in these exams, the boy sneered. You know, for someone trying to become a Chunin, attacking a member of the host village's ninja force when you are surrounded by his comrades isn't a very smart thing to do, Sasuke growled as he, Sakura and several of the other rookies surrounded the Otto Genin, weapons drawn and ready to pounce. Shikamaru was kneeling behind the wall of Genin, his hands in the rat symbol, and the Otto Genin couldn't move. All right, you brats, a voice boomed out as an explosion of smoke covered the entire front of the room. Listen up or you'll be thrown out, and that goes for everyone. Everyone take a number and find your seat. A masked Chunin came around the room and handed out tiles with numbers written on them. Naruto's tile had the number 68 on it. Sasuke had 24 while Sakura had 107. Naruto sat down at his assigned seat and was stunned to see that Hinata was seated next to him. Hey Hinata, Naruto said, watching as the Hyuga blushed madly. Hello Naruto-kun, she stammered, twiddling her fingers. Good luck. You too, Naruto answered. Quiet you maggots, the proctor roared. I am Morino Ibiki, the first exam proctor and your worst nightmare. Now everyone pay attention because I'm only explaining the rules once. Ibiki went on to explain the rules to the first exam. Naruto hid a grin as the memories of his parents' Chunin exam experiences came to the forefront of his mind. It seemed that in the last 20 years, the first exam hadn't changed very much. It was still a written test. Several Chunin passed out the sheets of paper for the test. You have 1 hour to complete this test, Ibiki barked. The 10th and final question will be given out when there is only 15 minutes left of the test. And begin. Naruto flipped over the test and quickly scanned each of the questions and grinned. None of these questions could be answered by normal Genin. They were easily Chunin or Jonin level questions. For the next 40 minutes Naruto answered 5 of the 9 questions, giving only the bare minimum for a correct answer. He didn't want to expose his increased intelligence just yet, and also in case he was wrong about the final question he didn't want to fail. All right, pencils down, Ibiki ordered. It's now time for the final questions. The assembled genin sat a little straighter in their seats. However, there is another rule that I forgot to mention at the beginning. Quote, "You can't do that," Akiri genin yelled, getting to his feet. "Silence," Ibiki roared. "I'm the master of this exam. I can change the rules anytime I want. If you don't sit down right now, you'll be thrown out along with your team." The Kiri genin glared back at Ibiki but sat down. "I thought so. Now the final rule is simple. You all have to decide on whether to take the final question or not." "What do you mean?" Naruto asked. "Of course we want to take the final question. What kind of stupid rule is that?" "Well, you didn't let me finish, Jaki," Ibiki growled. "If you choose to take the question, and get it wrong, you fail, your team fails and you will be barred from taking the Chunin exams ever again." Quote, uproar met this announcement. "What? You can't do that. People here have taken the exams before," Kiba shouted. "That's too bad, they didn't have me as proctor," Ibiki shrugged. "So what are all your decisions? You can choose to not take the question, fail, cause your team to fail as well, but you will be able to take the exams next time, or do you risk it?" Naruto sat down in his seat, eyes narrowed as he watched several teams struggle with the decision. After 10 minutes, 12 more teams had been eliminated. Naruto looked behind him to see Sakura looking at him beseechingly, almost asking him to give up. Naruto snorted and shook his head, telling her that he wasn't going to give up. Sakura blinked at her blonde teammate, as memories of him crying out that he was going to become Hokage. She knew that Naruto had improved drastically since their return from Nami, but there was no way he could answer any of these questions, let alone what was coming. "I'm sorry Naruto, Sasuke-kun, but I can't let you," she thought as she began to raise her hand. "That's enough, Scarhead," Naruto shouted, slamming his hand on the desk, causing Hinata to jump in fright. "Enough of your pathetic mind fucks. Take them back to the academy where they belong. We're ninja. Making decisions without correct information is risk that we all take every day. If we're not prepared to risk our lives, then we shouldn't be shinobi. I don't know about the others here, but I sure as hell ain't a coward." Ibiki glared at the blonde Jaki staring him down, though inwardly he was laughing.